The Cinematic Shuffle has shuffled once again. If you were around last week, you would have seen me give off my 3 hints for what this film was going to be. Those hints were true story, medical, and 90s. A lot of you chimed in on this one. Lots of guesses going on here. Sesame Shelton Street 5197 guessed Philadelphia, which was a solid guess that fits the criteria, but it wasn't right. Kawaii Kind Cake 1023 guessed The Kingdom, which I think is just a war film from the 2000s. I haven't seen it, but it doesn't seem to meet any of the hints. Sage guessed John Q, which was another good guess, but it was a film that came out in the 2000s and it was not a true story. It feels like one though. Jacob Martin got really close when he guessed Awakenings, because not only does that fit the criteria, but it also has Robin Williams as a doctor in that, which wasn't even a hint. At the end of the day though, 3D Jake guessed it right with Patch Adams. Let's get cracking. Patch Adams tells the remarkable true story about a man who devoted his entire life to help people by listening to them, making them laugh, making them smile, and all around just bettering the quality of their life. He does this by enrolling in medical school to become a doctor, but he goes against the grain and he risks his future as a physician because he couldn't wait until his 3rd year to see the patients. It's a rule, but that's why he did it in the first place. People. It's impossible to list off all the really good performances from Robin Williams. He's played several iconic roles, from a genie to a fake older lady to a grown-up Peter Pan to a serial killer to a robot to a professional board game player to a college professor. The list goes on, and yet I struggle to think of a better role that seems to suit him just for being Robin than Patch Adams, even though Patch is a real person. That is because Patch's spirit was always about lifting people up. You know, making them smile, making them laugh, getting to know them. In general, just being a good people person, caring about them, regardless of how weird that sometimes made him. Because from my perspective, that's 100% just Robin Williams. Thinking about that is truly bittersweet because it is so good to see him in his prime, doing his thing. I had a huge smile watching this film. But it's also bittersweet because it makes me miss him all that much more. For the most part, I'd say that the spirit of this film is it's uplifting, it's positive, it's full of love, as Patch's whole concept of what he's doing revolves around wanting to be a doctor, not just to delay death, which every other doctor in the world wants to do, but to rather literally improve the quality of life. The film also gets a little bit sadder and darker when it needs to, grounding the film and reminding the audience that this, for the most part, was a true story. Taking a break from praising Robin for a second, it should also be noted that in general, the movie is solid. It's made very well. 25 years later, I think that it still holds up as something that could be released today and still be something that people could love, because the concept introduced here about being there for people and seeing things in a way that others just can't, that's a timeless concept and something that we should remember. Performances from not only Robin, but also we got Philip Seymour Hoffman, Monica Potter, Daniel London, and Bob Gunton particularly are all extremely well done. And in a big way, the film just wouldn't be what it is without them. But no matter what, Robin Williams is the heart and the soul of the film. That is something that nobody would argue with. I couldn't imagine any other actor playing this character. I mean, rumor had it that the role was offered to Tom Hanks and Bill Murray. Hanks was busy making Saving Private Ryan, and Bill Murray was just like, no. Thank God, I can't even imagine the movie with those in the role. It absolutely blows my mind though that Siskel from Ebert and Siskel called this the worst movie of 1998. Not one of the worst, mind you, the worst. Likewise, Rotten Tomatoes has this at a rotten score of 21%. How? I literally can't even think of a single negative for the film. The only thing that I can think of, is that some of the side characters aren't very memorable. Not to say that they aren't performed well or that they aren't important to the plot, because they are. It's just the mere fact that they aren't memorable. Everything else in this film, though, I consider to be one of Robin Williams' best films and roles. I think of it as extremely likable and rewatchable, something that I would have had the urge to purchase, something that I would have the urge to talk about and recommend in general, which means that my bias score for the movie is a perfect 100%, literally. My unbiased score, my technical score, is lower at 92%, but that's still a solid technical score that shows that they basically did everything right. What are critics thinking? My final overall score shouldn't surprise you, but it is An A+, letter grade. Final overall score of 96%, 96 out of 100 possible stars. Again, I struggle to think of any negatives here. I guess some people might consider the performances to be maybe a little bit melodramatic at times, but I mean, you're talking about Robin Williams here. He was a pro at switching back and forth from absolute devastation and depression, and then the next second he could be playing the funniest person in the room. He was known for that, and he does that at least twice in this film, proving once again, in my opinion, that he was the best man for the job. Maybe it is just me though. Maybe the movie's trash. Have you guys seen Patch Adams? If so, please leave your thoughts about it in the comment section down below, as well as what your favorite Robin Williams film and performance is. As for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next installment for the Cinematic Shuffle. And until then, peace!